Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CNT podcast. My name is Tommy Terrio. I am here with
The one, the only, the Justin Yarmark.
legend, absolute certified legend. So today we're going to be talking about teams that are trending up, teams that are trending down, who you got to watch out for come playoff time, all that good stuff that's been transpiring now that we're at the All Star break. So Justin's card of the
Not,
week before we get into that.
not quite. I think this goes out. There's maybe,
We'll see.
I think the day this goes out, there's still that day of games left, but pretty much we're at the All-Star break. This card is from a player, one of my favorite players in the league, whose team better be on Tommy's list. Because if they aren't, he did something very wrong. We got a Julio Rodriguez first Bowman paper CSG 9. I'm pretty sure his first Bowman papers go for cheaper than what I bought this graded 9 one is because CSG is not the greatest grading company. I really wish that when we show cards, both of us, it's kind of blurry when we
Yeah.
show cards. We gotta figure out how to fix that. We'll figure that out sometime. By
Yeah.
the next All-Star break. Give us a year.
I like that. We can work with that. All right. So I just did some brief research. So the home run derby is the day that this goes out. If this is because this is gonna be this is
Oh,
gonna
it goes
be
out the
yeah
home run derby's Monday.
yeah the home run derby is Monday.
Oh, I'm traveling Monday. I better not miss the derby. I better not have me watching it on my phone.
I'm excited. I'm gonna be tuned in. So that'll be
If
fun.
I'm watching it on my phone, I'm gonna be pissed.
By the way, if Julio wins the derby, he'll be the youngest person to win it by like 2 years.
And then he'll be defending his title in Seattle.
Well, that'll require him to make the home run derby next year. But yeah,
Whoever wins it is always in it the next year.
yeah. I mean, obviously, don't pray for it, but there's a lot that can happen in a year. So I'm just saying,
Okay,
be wary.
don't say that. You're saying that like you're putting the bad juju out there. Just assume everything's gonna be fine because everything will be fine.
All right. Do you want me to kick it off then?
I
My
would
first
love for
team.
you to kick it off.
All right, let's go. Ooh, I got four all good options. That's why I chose positive. We got some good options to choose from. Um, let's go down south first, shall we? So this team has been going. I
Going
mean,
way down south in the land of I don't know the song. I don't know why I tried it.
what song?
I don't know. Just continue. Forget I
Oh
did
no.
anything.
All right. So we're gonna talk about the Atlanta Braves. So I guess I almost feel bad for the Braves more than anything else. Like they're just stuck, but just they have to deal with the Mets in the division because the Mets are just insufferable.
Yeah, but they're
Uh,
gonna blow it very soon. Like everything for the Mets is about to fall apart.
you know, we say this every year, and every year it happens. I feel like it's aggressive to say it's not gonna happen. It's gonna be like it's aggressive to say, oh, the Mets, this is the Mets year, this is the Mets year, because it really never has been the Mets year since 1986.
That's a long time ago.
But the Mets are really good this year. I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna blow anyone out the water. I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna blow anyone away by saying the Mets are good. Hopefully.
Not for
But
long.
the
It's
Braves.
everything's gonna fall apart.
I mean, geez, guys, negative Nancy.
It's the Mets. Come on, you know it's gonna happen, and we all know it.
But the Braves are 7-3 in their last 10. They're only 2.5 back. The Met. I mean, the Mets have been thought to be just far and away better, but they're really not. And the Braves just keep winning, and they keep just going up. And they're saying, "Hey, we might have lost Freddie Freeman. We might have lost the guy. We might have lost the last year's World Series MVP. We don't care." And they just keep chugging. I mean, it's impressive. So that's my first team.
They are chugging. And do you want me to start with the one that you're gonna be mad at me for?
Sure.
I cheated. Okay, so Me and Tommy are the complete opposites. He's a morning person. I'm a night person. I do a lot of my work past 11 o'clock. I stay up late, but my body.
I get texts all the time. It's like, hey, can you do this? I'm asleep. I see it the
Okay,
next
no,
morning.
I've stopped on that. But I was in my notes here. We decided this in person, so I didn't have it in writing. So I had to ask Tommy, how many teams were we doing? And then I realized the time right as I sent it, and I decided I'm just gonna do the max I think it is, which was 7. We're doing 4 each, but I got lucky. Instead of doing one team, I'm doing a whole division that I have 3 teams that everything's going wrong for.
All right, so this is the part where I censor Justin and tell him, no, this is not how this works. We're supposed to be professional and stick to the format.
No, no, because I did it's the NL Central, and I'm about to lay into my Chicago Cubs, so you're gonna want to hear it. And I'm gonna do it last, so I get to say my other teams too. I know how you work. You want to hear me digging on the Cubs? I'm gonna have to let me dig in on the Cardinals and the Brewers first.
Okay, I'm willing to wait because it'll be worth the
Cardinals.
wait.
Cardinals are 48 and 43, 27 and 19 at home, and 21 and 24 on the road for second in the division. They're not good. Like outside of Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado and Nolan Gorman, who's having a great rookie year, their team is horrible. Another, they're doing everything they can to contend, and they just suck and are gonna miss the playoffs if they can't take the worst division in baseball, which is the NL Central. Which is crazy because in like 2015, 2016, it was easily the best division.
Is it worth pointing out that they're in the wild card right now? Is that
They're in the
worth
wild.
point? Yes, they're half a game
How?
up on the Phillies and a game up on the Giants.
The NL sucks. Okay, so they might sneak into the playoffs even if they don't take the division, but they shouldn't. They shouldn't be able to make the playoffs with how bad they're playing. Really? I
Yeah.
thought the Phillies were a few games better.
Remember, the Phillies are trash. They have no
Yeah.
defense, and Bryce Harper's injured. Like, what more do you? I mean,
Yeah. Next up, I got the Brewers. 49 and 40, 21 and 19 at home, 28 and 21 away. They have such good pitching. They have no good hitters. No good hitters. They do again another team. They do everything to contend, which just doesn't work. And they got no hitting, and they're barely above 500. And again, the only making playoffs with a decent seed is because the NL Central sucks. Like I kind of hope Tommy puts the Pirates on his list because they're having a lot better season than lots expected. Everything's going right for them, except they still suck, but their prospects are doing well. And the Reds, I mean, it's just the Reds. Like they don't deserve either list. However, my boy Albert Almora having a very good year with them. And then the Cubs, 34 and 54, 17 and 29 at home, 15 and 27 away. They're just not good. Like, doesn't
you,
make sense. They make minor moves to like trick you into think they might be contending by signing Wade Miley, Marcus Stroman, getting Clint Frazier. Like decent, solid moves to pair with an already a few All Stars in Ian Happ and Wilson Contreras, like and role players in Wisdom and Schwindel, and then they just completely bomb it, but not enough where they're gonna get like a top 3 pit where they can churn it all around. Enough to stay mediocre forever, and it pisses me off.
uh, Justin, I got good news for you in that department, I suppose.
The Cubs are
You're
like the 6th pick, I know, but
No, you only have you have the 4 pick right now.
oh, okay. When I made this, they were at
Y'all are
6 and
tied with
7.
the Reds. Y'all are
Okay, but
tied. You're
we've beaten the
y'all
Reds.
y'all are tied with the Reds.
We have beaten the Reds more than the Reds have beaten us. We are better than the Reds. Don't ever say that again. And when I made this, the Cubs were at like pick 8, and so they've been very bad the past few weeks. So not surprising we've moved up, but still, it makes no sense to spend all this money just to suck.
Y'all have lost 7 straight. Holy smokes!
And you're worse than the Diamondbacks.
No, we're not. We're 2 games up. We're a game and a half up on the Diamondbacks.
A game and a half up on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, we're not worse than the Diamondbacks. That's all I
Barely
was trying to prove.
better. I want to see a better though.
Yes,
Pretty sure
we're.
they. I'm pretty sure they've beaten you more than you've beaten them this year, and they have a brighter future because they have better prospects. But Drew Romo is a goat. He comes to the Opera Sox pretty soon. I'm excited.
I don't understand. I really don't.
I'm pretty sure the Diamondbacks have the upper hand in the series against the Rockies this year.
I don't know. Let's look. Um, all right. My next team is the LA Dodgers. And this is kind of a confusing one. So it's like, gee, Tommy, they can't be possibly be trending up. Like they're already here. You have to keep in mind, for a while they weren't, like they weren't achieving what they really could have, like they were May and June, they were just kind of stagnant, they let the Padres and Giants think, hey, wait, maybe we have a shot, maybe there's something to do here. That's where y'all are wrong. Remember, this team has Freddie Freeman, Trey Turner, Will Smith is finally becoming, finally ascending. Yeah, this team is really good. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They went 10-1 in their last homestand. They're just great all around. Yeah, this is the team that we expected to see when they signed Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is that, where are they at right now? They're still not, I mean, they're 9.5 ahead of the Padres right now. Expect that to be 15 by the end of the year. I'm just going to say that.
Whoa, with Tatis coming back soon, he's doing on-field walk.
I don't care how much on-field work a player does until they're actually back. Let me just put that way.
Okay, but he's coming back this year,
Yes, he's going to come back this year. He
and you
hasn't
still
played.
think
Yes,
you still
yes.
okay?
He's.
Okay,
When was the last time he played baseball? He played Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball
Was the
end of
end of
last
October? Was
year.
the end of October 2021? What performance are you expecting from him, even in the first 2 weeks? I like that's the kind of thing I'm
I'm
concerned
not
about.
first 2 to 3 weeks. He's not gonna be good. After that, I think he'll shorten up
Yeah,
like
I
he
just never.
always
I
does.
don't know. I just don't know when he
Look at Ronald Acuna. He was out since the middle of the
August.
season, middle of August. He came back not at the start of the year. He's missing about the same time as Tatis. He came back. He's in the All-Star game. He's in the home run derby.
Yeah, and
And
if he does
his
that,
injury was worse than Tatis's. So what's
yeah.
stopping Tatis from doing the same thing Acuna does? That's all I'm saying.
I think
That's
the
all
one
I'm
thing I will
saying.
say to that is that, Acuna has had great personal success, but that, I mean, and the Braves are obviously, one of the teams I'm saying are trending up, but it's not entirely due to Acuna. I'll say that there's a lot of, I mean, Austin Riley is slashing what, 300, 400, 400 numbers in the past like 2 weeks, and it's insanity. Um, but the biggest thing for me is that, you got to get the other contributors going anyway. You have to get your Cronenworth, you have to get your Grishams, you have to get your Haseo Kims, you have to get those guys going if you expect to, even get close, even if you want to touch the Dodgers, is my point.
I'm not saying they're gonna touch the Dodgers. I'm just think they're gonna lose momentum. I think is crazy to say, especially with tech. Like I get like the whole team has to do it, but adding Tatis is not gonna make them lose ground in the division.
They're already, I mean, they're 3-7 in their last. I mean, they're not in a good way.
No, but they're getting Tatis, but like that's not gonna make them worse. That's my whole point. My next team. Oh, these are all. Two of them are not spicy, but they have a spicy twist to them, and one is kind of like everyone's expecting it. Which one should I do? Spicy with a non-spicy with a twist, or just non-spicy?
Just non-spicy, nothing.
White Sox, 43 and 45, 19 and 25 at home, 24 and 20 away. They've been number one in the division for years now. Are now sitting in third place in the division and out of playoffs.
Wait, who was it again? Sorry, I
The
missed the name
White
of.
Sox.
Yeah,
Both Chicago teams suck. Uh, last time I said that it was the Cubs that were not the sucky team. When it was okay, that makes no sense. Last time the White Sox sucked, the Cubs were really good. It's been a while since both Chicago teams have been bad. That's all I'm saying.
By the way, the
But
Rockies are 6-4 in the season series against the Diamondbacks.
okay, I mean I was close. I'm not an NL West fan, so
Yeah,
I did
no.
my best. I can't see every game. As much of the MLB highlights I watch on YouTube, I don't get to all of them. And I forget
Yeah.
some. Like I'm not gonna be perfect the whole time, but it's close. I guess the Rockies are better for now. But as of a week ago, they were behind them in the division. So and I let you hear it. I let you hear it.
Yeah, we deserved it then.
Yeah. But yeah, the White Sox just been really bad this year, and I don't see them shorting around this year. Maybe next year, but this year, definitely losing Carlos Rodon is really hurting them because he is having a great year. Like that, losing Rodon is really hurting them more than I expected.
Yeah, and it's not just Rodon, it's just the fact. I mean, Anderson was injured, Grandal is currently injured. I mean, they're just not performing, I mean, at the end of the day, they're
No,
just not performing.
Andrew
If you
Vaughn
have a guy
is
like,
Andrew Vaughn and Luis Robert are playing great for my fantasy team.
yeah,
Recently beat Tommy, by the way.
I mean, Blue Bob, I
Ahead of
mean,
him, ahead of him in standings as well.
the thing with Lou Bob is that it's just, again, it's one guy. Fernando Tatis is one guy. It
And
doesn't
if you
matter if
take
a
Luis
player
Robert,
hits a
you
thousand.
you take Luis Robert off the White Sox, they lose more games than they win with him. So adding Tatis, I'm not saying they will make him better than the Dodgers, but it's not going to make them lose more games.
I mean, it doesn't matter if Lou Bob hits 1,000 with how this team is doing. I mean, they're
I
not
agree.
succeeding.
And I'm not saying that the Padres will succeed and surpass the Dodgers. I don't think that will happen, but
Are you
dropping
still hung up
six
on this?
games,
Are you still hung up on this? My goodness.
you brought it up. Yo, you brought it up.
It was a take, and
That's
I defended
crazy.
it, and you're still
That's
hung up on it.
crazy.
Multiple opinions later. My
I'm
goodness.
hung up on it. You brought it up in talking about the White Sox, and I'm the one hung up on it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I simply
What's your
made the
next one?
comparison to how they're
What's your next?
both
What's
one
your
player. Jeez.
what's your next one? What's your next one?
The Baltimore
That's
Orioles.
crazy.
This one's not that. I don't think that's difficult to say. I mean, they're 10-0. They're going for 11-0 in about an hour. Their game starts. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know if it's on ESPN Plus or anything else. I'll try to. I might try to, catch it somehow or one
If
way or
you
another.
can't watch it, you should just watch the highlights on YouTube. Those are so clutch. It'll be
I don't
up
know.
in
Maybe
like
we'll see.
it'll be up like 30 minutes to an hour after the game. So
All right.
like 8 minutes. I wrote a blog post about these. You obviously skipped it.
I don't know what you just said. I don't really care. I didn't understand what you heard. I
If
I
your
did
next
not hear what
team
you
is
said.
not, if your next team is not who I think it is, I'm gonna be furious.
Can I continue with my Orioles take?
Oh, you're not done?
I didn't say anything about them.
You did. Continue though.
All I said was I wanted to kick. All that I said was I wanted to watch their game today, and then you can went on a tirade.
It's not even true, but go on.
Go check the facts. Check the facts.
You
All
check the
right.
facts.
Hey, hey, we got a
Hey,
problem here.
you're the one starting stuff.
Hey, you. No, you are.
I'm just here for a good time.
Yeah,
Whether I start
right.
the violence or you
Yeah,
start it,
right.
I'm gonna finish it.
The good
Go,
vibes.
go on. I won't interrupt.
The Orioles are 10-0. Thanks to a couple key contributors. Their bullpen is finally figuring it out. I don't
Adley
know.
Rutschman's finally figuring it out.
Yeah, I think he had figured out even before the stretches started, but he really is
Yeah.
like he has
When
turned
he
it on.
when he first got up, he was struggling a bit.
Yeah, Trey Mancini,
Yeah. Austin Hayes, a little upset you haven't talked about him. He should be an all-star the way he's playing.
he's been great. All-star,
It's been
maybe, maybe
great.
not. I mean, he would probably
It's close.
he would get the outfield spot probably over Benintendi. I mean,
No,
can I
no, he
can
should
I
have got.
side note? Do you mind? Just quick
Okay,
quick
but
quick detour.
I have something to say after.
Quick detour. The every team deserves an all-star is the dumbest rule in sports, by the way. I found the
Yes.
new dumbest rule in sports. It is so dumb. Just because you play for the Reds does not mean you deserve an all-star spot.
Yeah.
Paul Black, I have Paul Blackburn on my fantasy team, right? he's been
he's
serviceable.
been
Okay.
good. He's been good, but I want to say
But he's
all-star
not an
good.
all-star, but he's only an all-star because he's on the hapless athletics and nobody else deserves.
Yeah. What I wanted to say is Austin Hayes should have replaced the outfielder over Torrey Seager, because Torrey Seager does not deserve the spot. It should if you're replacing an outfielder, it should be Austin Hayes. If you're replacing with the best player who's not an all-star, it should be Ty France. Ty
Yeah.
France has been the best first baseman in baseball.
No,
Yes.
Goldie. Goldie's been better.
Best first baseman in the AL.
There you go. Okay. Sorry.
Sorry. You got me. You got me. You got me.
Another one that, another very notable one is Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman's the other guy that really, was shunned by the committee or by the,
I
by
don't
the
like
fans.
him.
Well, of course you don't, but I mean that's just face the reality that he's, deserved to be an all-star.
I don't know.
Um,
Maybe, maybe not. I think that Madrigal deserves it more than him, but
I do have to. The only thing I will say on the Orioles is that I do have to discredit their streak like a little bit. But I mean, okay, they've played the
10,
Cubs,
10, 10 in a
Angels,
row.
Rangers, and Twins. The Twins are the only team that Let's look. All right, let's just
10
bear
in
with
a
me for a
row.
minute.
10 in a row is impressive no matter what. So,
Well, no, it's certainly impressive, and it deserves to be, honored. Sucks that they're still 17 back of the Yankees.
God, the Yankees are so insufferable. They just dropped 2 games to the Reds back to back, though.
The Twins are. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yep. Where are the? Who else am I looking at? The Rangers. Rangers, Twins. They took one game from the Twins, who were above 500, right? Who are
Only
seven above
one.
five? Who are seven above 500? They took one from the Twins, and then They are playing the right. They swept the Rangers, who are five below 500 currently. They
Well, they would only
played.
be 2 games under 500 when they played.
Well, but the point being is that they're multiple games. That both teams are multiple games under 500. It's just that I do have to undermine the competition a little bit that they played. I have to point
Okay,
that out.
well, there's another team on a win streak that should be your last team who you can't discredit.
I can a little bit, but we'll get to that. We'll
I
get to that in a minute.
I don't think you can. I got some spicy for you guys. Do you want the double spicy or the one spicy?
We'll end it on the with a bang. So go with a little
Okay.
bit lighter
The
one.
Nationals, okay. Giving it to you straight, not spicy, but wait. 30 and 60, 14 and 33 at home, 16 and 27 away. Haven't been competitive since the World Series. Here's the spicy. Juan Soto should be available at the trade deadline. They offered him what, a $500 million contract that he didn't accept.
It was something, and
It's
I don't think
something.
they were touched 500, but it was like
It's
450.
in that. It's in
It
that
was lucrative.
ballpark.
Yeah.
He did not sign it. He does not want to come back to you. Trade him now. His value. He still has a few years of control, I believe. You trade him now. You
I'll
can.
find out for you real quick.
If you trade him to the Mandals, you could probably get Noel Marte, Edwin Aurora, Kelnick. Like the haul you could get back from him right now is high. You have to take it. You sold Matt Scherzer and Trey Turner last year for a one top prospect and a few other prospects. Now is your chance to sell Juan Soto for the potential of 3 to 4 top 100 prospects and then some. It is.
So
He should
here's
be available.
um
Two
he has
years of control.
arbitration. Yeah, 2 years of the
2 years
arbitration
of
control,
control. Two
and then
years of
he's
control. You gotta trade him. 2 years of control. What's the team with? I'm gonna look up the top. Tell me your thoughts on me thinking he should be available while I look this up.
I mean, at first glance, it's bold and seems like brash almost, but like as you think about it, it's like they're not competing in the time that he has control, and if he was going to sign anytime, he's going to sign now, and he can get the money now. You know what I mean? Um, Also, it's like, what are the Nationals really expecting to do in the next years of control. It's like the I hope that they can succeed. You never want a team to not succeed. I mean, unless it's like a division rival, like with Justin, like the Cardinals, something like that. But like like the Nationals are out of the way, and you're like everybody rooted for them when they succeeded in 2019. Most people were not cheering for the Astros. I think if you were to go back and survey the majority of MLB fans, it'd probably be 60-40, 65-35, somewhere in that neighborhood. And Soto's just a face of baseball. And if I mean, all right, Washington's not a small market, but obviously, for all the politics and everything else, like stay out of that. But it's still not a small market. So that is something that has to be considered. Um, I hope, I hope that you can put a face of baseball somewhere, where baseball is big and you can really, I mean, if you want to look for an opportunity to grow the game, I mean, that's all, I mean, that's the best you can really ask for.
So back to the prospects. Let's say you're the Nationals and you received an offer for the number 13 overall prospect, the number 26 overall prospect, number 42 overall prospect, the number 47 overall prospect, the number 70 overall prospect, and the number 75 overall prospect. 6 top 75 prospects for Juan Soto.
It's pretty enticing. Is there a name I can grab onto there? Is there a headliner that people that the Nationals fans can hold on to and say, hey, we got a guy?
Diego
Cartoya, I think his name is.
Cartoya. Diego Cartoya, Andy Pages, Michael Bush, Bobby Miller. You don't want to trade to the Dodgers? That's cool. Trade to the Mariners for Noel Vlay Marte, Harry Ford, Matt Brash, Edwin Aurora, Jared Kelnick. 4 top 100s, and then Jared Kelnick, who was top 5, now in the minors, but still young, still has a chance to be something.
I feel like they're. I mean, I feel like both
It's
scenarios
not.
are.
It's
There's
not.
more
It's not as
necessary.
good. It's not as
There,
good.
yeah,
Oh, hey, trade him to the Guardians for the number 11 prospect, number 32 prospect, number 78, number 80, number 85, number 86, number 99, and number 100 for 8 top 100 prospects. The Guardians could offer for Juan Soto with 2 years of control, and then they'd have a team of Andres Gimenez, Shane Bieber, Jose Ramirez, and Juan Soto.
all to lose in the like divisional round.
Obviously, they want to trade all 8 of them, but like you can get a good number of them.
I don't like mortgaging. I don't think mortgaging the farm is right for the Mariners. I really don't.
I don't think it's right for the Mariners either, but it's what they're worth a mention.
Is it worth it for the Dodge? I mean, probably. I don't know. I don't think it is.
For the Dodgers, yes.
They already gave up their future, with and I mean with this Scherzer and Turner deal.
Not really. They got a steal. They gave up the top prospect just for them to get a better one, same position.
I don't know. I just think the Dodgers have to be careful with it. I mean,
Oh, heck, let's Yankees go crazy. Offer Aaron Judge, and then the Nationals pay him Anthony Volpe and Jason Dominguez for Juan Soto. And then Judge instantly gets extended
Yankees fans would
by
hate that
them.
deal. Yankees fans would
Yeah,
hate that deal.
they get Juan Soto with 2 years of control.
That's a terrible deal on so many levels.
Just saying, if the Yankees go crazy, like there are teams
Because
that
you're
will
gonna have
pay
to
a
pay
hefty price for him.
because you're gonna have to pay Juan Soto soon anyway. I think I mean the thing with
Juan
Judge
Soto
is
doesn't want to sign.
he's playing at an MLB level. He's playing MVP baseball right now, and he's not, like there's no sign of stopping.
Yeah, I guess that one's a bit outlandish.
That one's too much.
Who's your last one? And I swear, if it's not who I think it is, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad.
Um, I don't know. There's a couple of teams I could go with, I
The
suppose.
hottest team in baseball you have yet to say. So
What you mean the two and no, no, not them. Yo, the Reds are 7-3 in their last 10.
I'm
Yo,
leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
yo.
I'm leaving. Say who it is, and you better get it right.
my final team for this series of, examining teams that are trending up, trending down is the Seattle Mariners.
Thank God you didn't miss on
Who
this
else would
one.
it be? Just I don't know why you were freaking out. There's no one else that could be.
Because you waited until the end to get me all worked up. 11-0, baby. 11-0. In the last 11. Tell him the
Um,
story. Tell him the story. You know exactly what story I'm talking about. Tell it to him.
I have no idea what story you're talking about.
I'll tell it. Suarez.
That
Walk
sucked.
off bomb. You seen here. It went over me and Tommy's head within 10 feet. The ball
Yeah,
landed within 10 feet of us. We were at the game. All the Blue Jays fans heckling. Suarez shuts them all up. Walk off bomb right over me and Tommy's head.
it was awesome.
It was sick. The Manos are hot. Julio is hot. Julio is an all-star, which he should be. He's in the home run derby, which is exciting. The Manos are much must-watch baseball right now. This is the
Yeah,
team I was talking about at the beginning of the year. This is the team that I thought would make playoffs and could maybe contend for the division. I'm wrong. The Astros are everything's going right for them. I was wrong. Astros are taking the division. But this is the
this
team.
team could have contended for the division if they had have started the season this way.
This team could make some noise in the division. And this is a playoff team right now.
Yeah,
I've said
I
my
don't
piece.
know.
Now you say your piece with them.
The All-Star break is around the corner. Mariners fans know what that means. So, we'll see. I don't know. I,
Julio.
I would love if they could keep it going. If they could keep it going, it would be electric. But
It's
you
the
know,
electric factory.
I mean, I think the biggest key is that they finally stopped. They finally realized, hey, wait a minute, fun differential isn't how you win baseball games. Fun differential, it wasn't enjoyable. I mean, last year was enjoyable, right? Everybody hopped on the bandwagon. They're like, okay, this is fun. I want to be watching Mariners baseball. It's the first time in a decent amount that, people were really tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not winning baseball games, and they tried to win it. They tried to keep winning like that. At the beginning of this year, it wasn't working. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like at the beginning of this year, they were just awful. It was bad. It was really bad.
It was.
And like me and Chowder were talking about this in our preseason episode, which go check that out if you haven't already. It's 2 hours of full full season preview.
That was a
Um,
pain to edit. That was a pain.
it was awesome. It was fun though.
It was a pain to edit. Yeah, you said you don't edit these. I do. It was a pain to edit.
I'm so proud of you, Justin. So proud of you. You could ask. What's funny about this, guys? I'm gonna just talk to you for a minute. Let's just chat, shall we? Let's just have some fun. So
I don't think I'm
Justin
gonna
is a
be in
very
this segment.
Justin is a very interesting friend of mine. He's my best friend. I've known him for 7 years now, right?
I win. You hear that,
Um,
Trevor? I'm better. Trevor's out of town. He won't see this. He's out of
Thanks.
town. No, he'll be back in time for this episode. No, I'm wrong. He'll be back for this.
But ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
this is the part of the show where I say Justin could ask for help, but he doesn't. Just keep that in mind. Whenever he complains about something, just keep in mind he could ask for help. Tommy, could you help me edit this? Tommy, could you help me do this? But instead, he does it himself. This is a voluntary decision, so keep that in mind whenever you hear Justin complaining. So just, just be forewarned and forearmed. Okay, just that's all. That's my piece. Justin, continue on. Who's your
My
final team?
next, the Angels, 39-50, 22-4, 22-24 at home, 17-26 away. Haven't been good. They haven't been good in a while. Really bad this year. Here's the spicy stuff. Trade deadline comes. Oh, Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani should be on the market. Think about what you could get for Juan Soto. triple it is what they could get for Trout and Otani. They've tried to build around Trout. They cannot do it. If they trade him now, they can reamp their entire farm system. They trade both of them. I'm talking they for the both of them, they could get a total of 15 top 100 prospects.
I can't, for
15.
those curious, I can't even hear Justin, so he's gonna be going off for a minute.
15.
Just leave him be.
15 top 100 prospects. They're not good. They're not going to make playoffs this year. They're not going to make playoffs next year. Like, they are one of the worst teams in baseball. They cannot do it. Okay, maybe don't trade Otani. Keep Otani. Trade Trout. Trade one of them. Let one of them walk. Trade one of them. Keep Otani. Build around Otani. Trade Otani. Build around Trout. You trade one of them. Maybe both of them. You trade both. You can get 15 top 100 prospects with ease if you do different trades. You trade them together, you can get an entire team's worth of talent. Trade one of them, build around one. Pick Otani, trade Trout. Trout should be gone by the end of the deadline or the end of the year. Build around Otani. Stop holding on to the past. You failed Trout. Get him off your books. Get prospects. Build around Otani. You know I'm right. Deep down, you know I'm right.
You're not though. That's the problem.
Why? What? They're gonna miss the playoffs year after year? Like, when is enough enough? How many times do they have to miss the playoffs with two generational talents for you to realize this isn't working?
And yet, I don't understand. You're just willing to mortgage off teams' futures. There's more. Baseball's a business. They're not. Neither of those players are going to be traded. You have to understand that fact.
I
That
know they're not, but one of them should.
no,
Trout.
no, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. Baseball, at its core, unfortunately, now is a business. Neither of them are going to be traded. Neither
I'm
of them
not
should be
talking about a
traded.
business standpoint. I'm talking about you want to be good. This is not the way to do it. You are failing miserably.
You
Anthony
have two
Rendon,
of the five best players. How is
and
this
they
not the way to
can't make
be?
the playoffs.
Which is not their fault. You have
How? You have two generational talents. You can't make the playoffs. How is that not their fault?
where's the problem though?
They can't win games. Otani will go and pitch 7 perfect innings. Trout will hit 3 home runs and they'll lose 3-4. Trout can bat 800 and Otani can win 50 games and they would still miss the playoffs. They paid Anthony Rendon a ridiculous amount to be injured and not good.
I just don't think it's not for a lack of trying. I think that's slanderous to say it's not for a lack of trying.
I'm not saying they're not trying. I'm saying they're trying and failing, and it's time to give up on Trout. Trout is what, 30 years old? And yet they can still get so much for him and then build around Otani, who's like 26, 27.
You have two of
It's
the best.
time. And
No,
it's
it's
time.
not. It's not though.
They've
You
tried.
have time.
They've had Trout for how many years and have missed the playoffs how many times?
You have time.
Trout has never. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Their time is up. This was their last chance to at least make the playoffs and show that they can. It is up. They have failed. My
Yeah,
Trout.
right. They have not failed.
My Trout is 30. This is your last chance to be able to shop him and get a sword return. It's
you have
time.
control. You have control on Trout between now and forever. So not concerned about that. And you have Otani.
He's not going to resign unless you make moves and make the playoffs, and it's just not working.
They can throw all the money they need to at him. That's this. I mean, it's the same thing as Juan Soto, and he has more of an inclination to sign. Everybody loves him in LA. The thing is, Justin,
and
is
everyone
that
will
they
love
have
him
people
anywhere.
coming. There are people that are coming.
Who? None of the prospects are that great besides V. Detmers. And he's already there. You think I'm crazy? I think the time's up with Trout in LA.
I just don't know how this is not the time to do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
How?
This is not
How? Why not? What have they done
because
to prove that they can do this?
Oh, gee, I don't know. The fact that they have two of the top three talents in baseball and
And
they
they're
still
missing the
have them.
playoffs.
They
They're
still have
missing the
them. Let
playoffs.
the players develop.
They've been doing that for years and nothing has come from it.
Okay, so what you're proposing is that the team gets worse, but there's no
Okay,
direction.
all of their prospects, the only one that's projected this year is the number 10 prospect. The rest in the top 10 are all 2023 or later, and only one of them is 2023. The rest are 2024 and 2025. By then, Trout's going to be 34, 35. Otani's going to be 30. Like, you got to realize, you got to trade Trout. Maybe not even for prospects. Maybe you trade Trout to, like, the likes of the
Who can
Dodgers for,
afford
like,
that?
Mookie Betts or for
They're no,
Mookie
they're
Betts and Gavin Lux or something. Like, build around Otani. Like, Trout, as great as he is,
you can't. The other
he's
thing is
gonna
you're not gonna be
start
able to make
fading.
these deals. You're not gonna make these deals.
They're not going to do this. I'm saying they should, though.
They shouldn't.
Why? What have they done to prove that this is working?
What have they done to prove that it isn't working?
Not
They
make the
have
playoffs. What do you mean? The whole goal in baseball is to contend, and they have two of the top five players, and they just aren't contending. What do you mean? What have they done to prove that this is not working? They aren't winning games. That's what they're doing.
the whole. I don't. Oh my goodness, this is so stupid.
It's not. Deep down, you know
The
I'm
point
somewhat
of
right.
gathering players, the point of having a team is to put the best players on the field day in and day out.
The point of having
What
a
you're
team is to win, and they are
what you're
not doing that.
what
You
you're
know I'm
suggesting,
right.
there's no future. Like, what are you gonna do with the team?
There's no future with Trout right now. I'm gonna say it. The Angels have
Yes,
no
there
chance of
is.
winning a World Series with Mike Trout on the roster.
That is
With
some of
his
the
age,
that is
with his
the
age,
dumbest
no.
take I have heard in so long.
Trout is 30. They have no prospects coming up until he's 43. You really and then give the prospects a year or two to develop. All of a sudden, Trout's 36. You really think their time is in 6 years? You really think Trout's gonna want to wait around? Like, as nice of a guy Trout is, his time in LA and his championship
LA
window is closed.
LA is the biggest market in baseball.
Yeah, and what did they do? They gave over a $300 million contract to Anthony Rendon, and that didn't pan out. Something around that. I don't know the numbers. Gave a massive contract to Rendon, didn't work out. Paid Justin Upton a ton, that didn't work out. All of their signings have failed besides Otani. And it took Otani a couple of years, took him 3 years to get to where he's at now. You see, that happens with all the prospects who come up in 2024. They won't be ready till 2027 when Trout is 35. You really think that a 35-year-old Trout and a 32-year-old Otani and young guys is a championship team in this league? It's not. Trout's window in LA is closing. LA can fully rebuild and build around Otani and
You
have a
have
chance if they
UFAs.
trade him.
You have UFAs. Just this is just a couple of guys that deserve mentioning. Sean Mania, Kyle Gibson, Joe Musgrove. Those are some guys, but there's plenty of talent out there. Mike Clevenger's another name that's a UFA at this coming free agency. That's been the biggest problem is pitching, is they just can't find pitching.
And they signed Noah
We live
Syndergaard
in a
to a
world.
$21 million deal. They don't know what they're doing in the front office. They're giving contracts to not great players, thinking that they will be great.
Isn't that like what sports is,
I'll
though?
give
To
you
be
this.
fair,
I'll give you this. I'll give you
isn't that
this.
what
If
sports
they,
are?
I'll give you this. Not this. Don't trade Trout this off. Don't trade Trout this trade deadline. Don't trade him in the offseason. Go and have another. Give him another chance. Give him another free agency. See
And
what the
give
moves they
them
make.
money with pitching. This is the problem. This is what I wanted the Twins to
Yes,
do.
give Noah Syndergaard another 25 million for one
That's
year
not what
for
I'm saying.
mediocrity.
You literally just heard me say that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying get Kyle Gibson, get Sean Mania, get Mike Clevenger, get Joe Musgrove, get those kinds of players.
They won't do it. That's the
Says who? Says who?
says the
There's no.
history, the past. They've had Trout for over 10 years. They have not done well, not over 10 years. They've had Trout in the majors for like 7 or 8. They have not built. They have not. They gotten one successful player around him in that time. What makes you think that's all going to change right now, this year? What changes it?
Because the world is seeing that they have two of the three
The
best players in
pressure has
baseball.
been on for
No,
years.
it hasn't though.
For Trout has been the undisputed best player in the league
People have
for 5
acknowledged,
years.
yes, people have acknowledged that Trout is the best player in baseball. But people also have said that a player that you can't win baseball games with a single player. But now that
Correct.
Otani's here, there's actually, oh shoot, you can't win even if you have two of the four best players in baseball.
And then they went and signed Noah Syndergaard to a $21 million deal, overpay. They paid Rossy Iglesias, which was good, but what's a closing pitcher going to do when he never has a lead in the 9th inning? Deep down, you know, a part of I'm not saying I'm saying is a good statement, but deep down, you know, I'm somewhat right. And deep down, you
Okay,
know,
here's
if
another
they
name.
deep down, you know, if they were to listen to me, they would
It would
have
be awful.
better success. No,
No, they wouldn't.
deep down, you know, I'm somewhat right with this. Deep
Tell me the
down,
next time you're gonna get a mic. Tell me the next time you're gonna mic Trout. You're gonna get a mic Trout. Tell me, please. I implore you.
a generational talent, they got one in Shohei Ohtani. They have 2 generational talents, and they have nothing to show for it.
So you think that's gonna be better? That's gonna be different the next time around? That's stupid to say.
It's stupid to think that they're gonna sign better players this offseason when they haven't been doing it for 8 years. They've had 8 years of Trout, and they have not done anything besides get Ohtani. And it took him 3 years to become what he is.
It's all I'm saying is that if you're expecting any prospects to do better than Otani and Trout, you're losing your mind.
I'm not expecting them to do better. I'm expecting them to get like 3 to 5 of them, and all of them together will do better than one player. Because, like you
And I
said,
don't
you
think that's
need
gonna matter in the end.
no. You said you need more
That's
than
not
one
gonna
player.
matter in the
No,
end
I'm
because
saying
none of them are going to.
You said you need more than one player on the team to win. They traded one player for 5 more good players. Boom, the team is better because they have more depth. It is a team game, and Trout has done everything he can, and the Angels still cannot win.
I would rather have 200s than three to five 80s. You know, that's the point. Is like there's
They're
nothing
not
to
going to be
prove
trading for
that
80s. They're going
there's
to be
nothing
trading
to
for
prove.
90s, and you know that.
We have nothing to prove that.
And you
You
have
have
nothing to
no
prove.
evidence
And
that they are going to be.
you have no evidence that the Angels are going to go out and sign good players this offseason. This debate comes down to whether you think the Angels will change after 8 years, or if you think it's time to pull the plug.
It isn't. That's just simple as that.
I don't fully think now's the best time to pull the plug, but if you want the best patrol you're gonna get, now is the time to pull the plug. That's what
Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
saying.
this is this is the closest to a win you're gonna. This is only the closer to a concession you're gonna adjust and getting
I'm
him from
not
a solid.
conceding.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not conceding.
You're going from they have to no they don't. I'm taking the
No,
W.
I think they do have to, but they're not going to. And if they don't, they'll be a decent team, but they won't sniff the playoffs. If they do this, if they trade
Flippity
him,
floppity, flippity floppity, flippity floppity, flippity floppity. And that's
crazy
what you
how
keep doing.
crazy how you don't let me even say my piece. Like I'm trying to explain myself, but no. Oh no, Justin has a
I'm not
different
gonna let
opinion.
you.
He
I'm
doesn't
not
get to
gonna let
say
you.
anything.
I'm not gonna
That's
let you do that
crazy.
because you've in the past.
That's
So we've had this.
crazy.
We've been having this discussion for 10.
I'm explaining myself, and you're just interrupting me and not
We've been
giving me a
having this
chance.
discussion for 10 minutes and you've had the different takes 4 times.
And
Bop, 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 bop. What is it?
you're not
Do
letting
you
me
think
explain it. You're not letting me
should Trout
explain it.
stay or not? Should Trout slash
No,
Otani stay or not?
no. They
Thank
should trade
you.
him.
Find an answer. My goodness.
I've had the same answer the whole time. I'm saying it's crazy how I have my own opinion, but Tommy goes against it. Can't let me say my piece.
This is comedy.
What's comedy is I don't even get to say what I think on the podcast. That's what's crazy.
What's true? Oy, oy, oy. Oh. Ow, my leg. Oh, jeez. That didn't feel good.
The best
No.
time to pull the plug is now because you can get the best return for Trout now. The older he gets, the less value he's gonna have.
Ow. Jeez.
You know that's true.
Oy. Oy, oy, oy.
8 years. 8 years they've had the chance. 8 years they have failed.
Let's be wrong. It's 2 years that they've had the chance. 2 years. Ow.
They've had
Ow.
Trout longer than 2 years, and
They've
you know
had
that.
Trout for 8
Okay,
years.
first off,
So
are you good? You seem in
yeah,
pain.
my leg hurts a little bit. It's okay. We're okay.
Are you good?
Boy. Ow. I don't know what I did. They've had Trout for 8 years, but obviously we've covered this that one player doesn't make a team. So they've had a true
Exactly.
opportunity for two.
You trade Trout now. You can get like 5 to 7 good players, like 85 to 90 players, and you can build a better team.
Who could all fail at the
Yeah, I mean, what's worse? Having two generational talents missing the playoffs every year and getting laughed at, or having the chance to make a move, make a gamble, and maybe, just maybe, actually make the playoffs for once. They won't make the playoffs with what they're at now. The trajectory is not getting better. The window is closing. I give it maybe 1 to 2 more years, but even then, it's a long shot, and they have to change the philosophy that they've had for 8 years. But if you move Trout now, maybe not at the deadline, maybe you do it in the offseason, maybe then you could change your chances and not waste Otani's career like they've wasted Trout's.
just don't buy it. I don't like it. I think I mean, there's a
If
saying. I'm a hockey
if
fan,
Trout,
and there's a saying in hockey that if Wayne Gretzky can be traded, anyone can be traded, and that's fair. I mean, it's hard to comprehend. But I mean, I don't know. If he's traded, he's traded. It is what it is. We move on.
if Trout
I
was
don't know.
33, would you disagree?
I would.
Would your
I
mind
would. I
point
would
stay the
less.
same?
I would less vehemently disagree.
They would
I
get
would
less.
still.
Okay,
I would still be in disagree. I would still be in frustrated disagreement, but I think I would still understand. I mean,
they wouldn't be able to get three
I don't
top 50
know.
prospects for a 33-year-old. They can
I
get 4 to 5 for Trout if he's 30, which he is.
I don't
It's
know.
hard. If
I
you're
don't
gonna
think you
do
can
what I'm
say I don't
saying,
Justin, I
oh,
don't
you
think you
go.
can say that you wouldn't. I don't think you could say that you wouldn't get it. I would say you most likely couldn't because we don't know what's gonna happen in the next 3 years. None of us do.
No,
No one on earth knows what's
we don't. But if this gamble is gonna work, it has to be now or next year when he's 30 or 31. You wait any longer, you've blown it. They're already blowing it. I think it's not the safe option. It's the risky option that could also pay off more. Because I don't see him signing that many good players to make him contend. Like they've tried and failed for 8 years to get Trout into the playoffs, except for maybe once.
yeah. I
What's
think
going to
with
change in one off season? History repeats itself.
at the first off, the first take is a dumb one. The second one is obviously it's a smart. Obviously the history repeats itself as a thing, but teams have had great off seasons that have completely changed the trajectory of their.
Yeah, and the Angels have never had one of those.
Well, no, I'm just saying. But my point is that one free agency can shift a lot. I'm just all I'm saying.
Yeah, but they have to commit, and they're not going to commit. They're probably going to re-sign Noah Syndergaard to another $21 million deal.
At that point, when we say lol angels, we move on with our lives.
Trout should be. I'm not saying you should actively chop. I'm saying he shouldn't be untouchable. Is what I'm saying. I
So you're
guess
saying you should
I'll
trade?
lower it. I'll change. You know what? I'm not conceding, but I'm changing my mind point a little bit because I guess trading Trout that would be like they get a lot of ridicule, but I still think that they would be a better team faster if they did trade him.
There'd be no fans. Can you imagine? There'd be no
There'd be
fans at
no
Angels
fans.
games.
Probably not.
No one would
Well,
go to an Angels game
no,
ever in
because
their
I'm
entire
not saying
lives.
trade both of them. Trade both of them. That was a little crazy. Keep Otani, they would still have fans.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I think keeping Otani's almost to some extent riskier. Because
Yeah,
there's no guarantee he's going to resign. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's either. I just neither option is good because you have a future with only. So let's just go down the rabbit hole really quick, right? You and me, do you mind really quick?
Not at all.
They have Trout till 2031, by the way. So there's another 9 years of this. By which point he'll be 39 and he's gonna be making a lot of money when he's 39. That's wild.
Yeah.
Um
Another
he's
thing I don't love.
he's going to be making $35 million at the age of 30 or 38. His 39th season, he can be a free agent. So 2030.
Exactly.
So,
That that's a bad contract.
but it's
You're
like,
paying him.
yeah, and it's
That's
like
too long of a contract.
if you keep him, so say you keep him and trade Otani, just in a wild scenario, they keep him and trade Otani, right? Just bear with me. So these are I'm just gonna go through the scenarios, right? It's just good. His career is obvious. I mean, as everybody's done, like no, like Father Time's undefeated, right? Obviously. And if it's, I mean, but if it's Otani, it's a very hazy future. We don't know. I mean, there's nothing to suggest one way or another whether he would stay or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you keep both of them. It's like, okay, this is gonna be doing this, and it's gonna be a cloudy future. It's like who knows? It's such a weird. I mean, the Angels are in
They're
such a weird
they're in
limbo.
a disaster of a place.
I would never want to be the GM for the Angels right now. Can you imagine? That would suck.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I think you take a call. What you do is you take calls and you say, hey, if somebody comes knocking and says, hey, the Angel, can we talk about Trout? You say yes. They give their offer, and you instantly hang up the phone and you start talking to people and you start saying, okay, maybe we could do this.
Like if the Guardians offered all 8 of their top 100 prospects, I for, I don't think that's an instant no.
I
Oh
don't think it's an
no,
instant
they
no.
they offer they offer 4 of the top 100, the top 2 and the bottom 2 top 100 prospects, and Shane Bieber for Trout. I would consider that heavily.
I don't think you hang up the phone right away, but I don't think you say yes right away either.
No, you definitely no trade for Trout. You're gonna say yes immediately. But
Unless it's absurd.
yeah, but all I'm
You're
saying
offered
is
like
they're a
Vlad,
good
Bo,
trade.
and Kevin Biggio, and
Oh,
like
you
three
accept.
and
You
three
accept.
prospects right away. It'd be wild.
You
Can you imagine?
accept.
It'd be
Look,
hilarious.
there are offers that the Angels should take on Trout. That's all I'm saying. We got
At
into
the
kind of an aggressive fight about this. I think deep down I was a little upset, and deep down you knew I was partly right. And now we're meeting in the middle where it always has lied.
I think the biggest problem for both of us, like if you go and look at this, it's like we both like when we hear a take, we really get defensive and barely listen to the other side, But like we
Yeah.
like once we walk out of the fire and are like, okay, let's calm down, let's actually think about what we
I
just did for a minute.
I think we're now meeting in the middle that you take calls and consider some trades. I think we're getting there. And I think
Yeah,
that's the place where I meant, and not that you actively shop trout. You have to trade them.
yeah.
You don't
I
have
think
to trade
yeah.
them. I think it could be beneficial.
I think at the end of the day, the thing you have to consider is what does the future look like if you go down each of the four paths? You trade both of
Oh,
them, you trade just one, you trade the
you
other,
want
or you just
you
trade
want to
neither.
still contend? Dodgers offer Diego Cartaya, Trey Turner, and Mookie Betts for Trout and another player. I think that's a win-win for both teams. Dodgers get a Trout, but the Angels then get a catching prospect who will come up in 2 years tops, a top tier infielder, and a top tier outfielder to replace Trout.
I think it doesn't change anything for the Angel. Like it has to be something
I
that
think that would change
completely.
it because
If they're
that's
gonna
two
change,
bats compared to one.
I think that if you're the Angels and you're trading Trout or Otani, it has to completely change the philosophy from contention with some pieces to full rebuild. Like it has to be
I don't
it
know. I
has to
think
be a
that Dodgers
complete
deal.
philosophy
I think
shift.
the Dodgers deal was pretty good because Trey Turner would still have another year of control, but Trout's locked up for a long time. Maybe you throw in like a Tony Gonsolin in that deal, get another solid pitcher.
Yeah,
But then,
you
but
just have
then
to
is
figure.
that?
You're just in
But then
limbo.
are
You
the
know what I mean?
Dodgers giving up way too much for a 30-year-old?
Yeah, that's the problem with the superstar trades these days. It's like um, I'm just gonna draw on another sport just because that's what I have off the top of my head. So KD was asking for a trade, right?
Right. Almost went to the
How are
Mavs.
you going to do that? You know what I mean? Like it's just so it's just so difficult to put all the pieces together to do that. It's like sure, that'd be amazing if we had if we had this dream world where anybody was untouchable, and we had a world where people were just constantly talking and making deals and everything else. But that's just not the reality. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that it isn't, but it just isn't.
It isn't.
So yeah,
I think I think that's all there is to this episode.
that's fun.
It was.
I would love for that to be a clip, but there really isn't any 1 minute in time in that debate that really makes sense to be a
I'm
clip.
I'm sure you'll find something.
I don't know. Maybe it's me just on the ground, just crying in
I would not
pain.
I would not I would not post that. Oh, you in pain. Maybe. Maybe. I'll consider it.
Tommy's on the ground screaming and crying. Not clickbait. That's the title of this episode.
Let's do it.
All right.
Thanks
Gonna
for
lead us out.
watching. Thank you all for watching. If you don't follow the sign, Tommy will sniff you in your sleep.
Yo, no, no, that's Trevor. That's Trevor. That's not me.
Sorry, Trevor. If you don't listen to the sign, Trevor's gonna sneak into your house and sniff you in your sleep. That's uncalled for.
That was a violation.
I'm still on menace mode from the fight a little. Well,
Yeah, that's
we don't fight a lot. So
no.
we
That
really got
was
into that.
well. I mean, the take was absurd. I mean, you can't.
I
I mean, you're
mean,
not.
deep down, there's some truth to it.
You also know that you can't just go out and just say you should trade both Trout and Otani in
Deep
the
down,
offseason.
deep down, I know that was a little
That was
outrageous,
too
and deep
much.
down, it was somewhat true.
There's some validity to it.
So, thank you all for watching.
It took a good thing too far. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That's how I'll wrap this up. It took a good thing too far.
Mhm.
All right. Peace out. Yeah.